It began on a quiet evening after dinner. The house had gone still, everyone asleep, while I stayed back in the sitting room, half lying on the couch with a magazine in my hands. At some point, without realizing it, I slept off. Then I felt a tap on my leg. My eyes flew open. Two men stood over me, their faces hidden behind dark masks. For a heartbeat, I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. Then the terror hit all at once. I screamed, loud, uncontrollable, the sound ripping through the silence and jolting my family awake. Everyone rushed out at the sound of my scream, only to freeze in horror at the sight of the masked robber standing in our living room. Before any of us could react, they barked an order for us to get on our knees. Fear swallowed the room. No one dared to breathe too loudly. They demanded money, shouting and ransacking the house. Then, without warning, one of them grabbed me by the arm. His grip was cold and unyielding as he dragged me toward a room at the back of the house. The door slammed behind us. The way he looked at me, sharp, hungry, filled with a kind of intent that made my stomach twist, told me exactly what he wanted. My heart pounded so hard it felt like it would burst. I pleaded, my voice trembling, hoping he would stop, hoping someone, anyone, would hear me. I was violated, left shaking and broken, tears streaming down my face like I had never cried before. Yet even in the midst of the terror, something about that night didn't feel right. Something about him, his hesitation, his glances, hinted at a mystery I couldn't yet understand. The next morning, I was taken to the hospital for a full examination. Every test, every procedure, felt like a reminder of the night before. They treated my injuries, spoke gently, tried to reassure me, but nothing could touch the hurt I carried inside. Something in me had changed. Something I couldn't name, but I felt it in the way I moved, the way I breathed, the way silence suddenly felt heavier than before. I never told my boyfriend what had happened. I couldn't. We went on with our relationship as if life were normal, as if I hadn't been torn apart inside. But a few weeks later, everything shifted again. I realized I was pregnant. That was the moment the true nightmare of my life began. Where was I supposed to begin? How could I ever explain to the world that I was pregnant because of a man who had violated me? Who would believe me? Who would understand? Questions swarmed my mind like a storm with no end. I felt cornered, voiceless, drowning in shame that wasn't even mine to carry. What was I supposed to do? What choice did I truly have? Yet beneath all the fear and confusion, something quiet but unshakable stirred inside me. A certainty. A whisper of strength. Deep down, I knew, I wanted to keep the baby.